why you need to give a man a time limit when you're dating him. And I know many of you don't like the idea of what you may view as an ultimatum or this strict, rigid time frame being put on things. And I get that. I understand that. However, for many of you, and not just for you as an individual, as a woman, but for that man to understand you are not here to play games when there is no structure of time, when there is no understanding of, hey, listen, this is my limit. And if we can't have something established by then, we're going in a different direction. It creates the opportunity, let me not use the word opportunity. It creates an environment where there's a greater chance for things to be drawn out. And now what should have been maybe, and I'm just giving a random example, what should have maybe been a 7-month experience turns into 5 years, turns into, I have to say it, an unwanted pregnancy, and now a toxic baby's father, and all this other stuff that goes on with it. Like, and again, understand, I am a coach who has sat down with a ridiculous amount of people, who has gotten so many emails, who has addressed and helped people with so many different situations. I see how these things play out. I've seen them from the beginning. I've seen them from the end. I've seen them from the middle. Like, trust me, this is not a game. And so you really have to be mindful of that. And I think one of the big reasons why the time limit is good is it gives you something to hold yourself accountable to. Because again, you may find yourself wanting to give it a chance and keep kicking the can down the road. And then again, before you know it, you look up and time has just passed you. And unfortunately, what happens is as more time passes, the harder it gets to walk away from most individuals. All right. The attachment, the unhealthy attachment only grows stronger. Or as I mentioned, you add other variables that now make it more difficult to walk away. Even if it's not kids, it might be two people moving in together. Or I've seen situations where the man ain't got nowhere to stay. Now he moves in with the woman. And now, even without them having a defined relationship, right? It's still not official. And now she struggles to kick him out because now the issue is, I don't know where he's going to go. He has nobody to help him. This sympathy, this guilt. And in some cases, again, her using that because in reality, she just doesn't want to be alone and other various reasons. But either way, now feeling stuck, right? And it just adds more and more drama. So I really believe there needs to be a time limit. Now, what that time limit needs to be is dependent on you as an individual, all right? I cannot give this general time for everyone to use because it's also about the amount of quality time that was spent getting to know each other. So what I mean by that is this. There are two people who can be talking to each other, dating, and in 3 months, they've talked here and there. They've gone out a couple times. They haven't had, maybe because of busy schedules, not because of lack of desire, just busy schedules, a lot going on. Maybe they live a distance from each other. They they do more than likely need more time to dive deeper into each other before they can move forward. On the other hand, you can have two people who've been dating for 3 weeks, but in those 3 weeks, they've been talking every single day. They done seen each other several times per week. They've done the due diligence. They don't need more than 3 weeks. Like to someone else, they might say, oh, well, 3 weeks, that's too soon. Why? If we already spent all that time, because again, it's not about the time, so to speak. It's about the work you've put in it in that time. And if you've already been spending all this quality time, all these conversations, asking all these questions, what is 3 more weeks going to do for you? What is months going to do for you? What is another year going to do for you? At that point, they should at least know, okay, I want to move forward with you in an official relationship, unless there's outside variables that might come into play. And again, that's why I cannot give a definitive, hey, it needs to be 3 months, 6 months, whatever. You as a woman, this way you have to really trust yourself, trust your intuition, talk to God. You know what I'm saying? You got to implement those things to really understand when there needs to be a cutoff here. But I do believe having at least, if not a very specific set deadline, some idea of when enough is enough. All right? And making sure to speed up the process, so to speak, to ensure that we don't have to wait 7, 8, 9, whatever months. let's get that quality time in. Let's make sure we're asking those questions. The sooner we can do those or do our due diligence, the sooner we can get this person out the way if they are not for us. I always say on my tour events, you gotta learn how to get them in, get them out. All right, keep it moving, because again, all they're doing is blocking the way to receiving the person who is for you. So be more intentional. We talk about men needing to be intentional, but as a woman, be intentional about what you're trying to accomplish here, and let's get through this process as quickly as we can. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,